Yeah. Woo. Yeah. Heard. Hard. I like that. Here we go.
Talk to Joseph and Marquita. You know you need it. He can get you anything. What's mine is yours. What's yours is mine. Greatest show of all time. His and hers. His and hers. All ours. His and hers. His and hers. All ours.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Joseph,
And Marquita.
and this is the His, Hers, and Ours podcast. Yo, today we have some very special guests. We have them damn kids of ours, and we are going to talk to them soon. But before we do, Marquita, we had a crazy ass week.
Woo!
We had a crazy ass week. We canceled. We made it through COVID. We got our negative
So
test.
you made it through COVID. I ain't making it through COVID.
You still making it through COVID.
I'm struggling.
Yeah,
I'm
hey,
struggling.
listen, just when I thought COVID was over, we started getting hit with some after effects.
Yes.
I mean, I'm talking, I couldn't wake up for a whole day.
Oh,
I was walking through the store, feeling out of breath.
yeah. And I have no energy to do absolutely anything.
None whatsoever.
Yeah, it's like I'm out of breath just going up and down the steps. It's crazy.
Yes.
Now more than ever, being proactive about your health is a must. But sometimes, eating the right stuff can taste so wrong. That's why I drink Royalty Sea Moss. They offer a refreshing lemonade that comes in 8 amazing flavors. Check them out at royaltyseamoss.com and enter promo code HHO Podcast to receive 10% off.
Any kind of story to tell, to share, because like these after effects have just been a bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't feel sick. You feel sick?
Yes.
Okay, I don't. I definitely don't.
I
feel
mean,
sick.
can you hear it?
No.
Oh.
You're always loud and obnoxious.
My bad. Okay, I'm gonna focus on my inside voice today, but let's go ahead and bring these damn kids here.
Okay, so who we got in here? We got all our damn kids. Listen, if you guys listen to our first episode, we talked about a little bit about our story. We shared our family dynamic. We talked about how we became the blended family that we did. So first, before we get into recapping about that story, let's just introduce all of our kids. Who we got from our oldest to youngest?
Let's go ahead and start with Aisha.
I am Aisha. I'm the oldest.
Aisha, our recent college grad. Big ups.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
Yeah, MSU Chippewa. What's your team doing this year, right now? What's your football team doing right now?
We're CMU. Did you call us MSU?
I did. CMU. I knew what it was.
It's that COVID after effect.
No, it's just I was watching Michigan. I was watching the big Michigan teams the
You
other
know
day.
what?
That's all.
I was fighting for Ohio with my life, with my heart, with my soul. I was
As you
talking
should.
bad crap to every Michigan fan. I told them I'm always repping the OHIO, never stopping. But we lost.
We took that in a major way. But you know what's up? It's all good. We ain't even gonna trip over that. Okay. So who we got next?
Diamond.
And the second one, Diamond.
Diamond, what's up? Tell us a little about yourself.
I am 20. Oh, wait, I'm not 22 anymore. I'm 23 now.
Yeah, just had a birthday a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm getting old.
Belated. Stop it. All right.
I feel like I am.
Zay, where you at, boy?
Man, what's happening? The real one, the star of the family. It's your boy Zay, aka Blaze the Don.
I will let you finish, but I heard that you mentioned me. Did you
No. There was no mistake there.
or
There was no
I
mistake
will
there,
let
man.
you finish, but I'm straight. Go ahead and
But let me
yourself.
refocus. But let me refocus, please. You know, being in a family of a large number, there's always that one hater. You know, they always wish they could be you and achieve what you do of being the realest, but they can never just quite get to it. But it's okay. You know, as the middle child, I'm like the backbone that holds his family together. But you know,
I love it. I love it. Zay just finished barbering school, so shout out to you. You get ready to take it. When you take your test, son?
whenever I get this certificate, man, you know, they up here playing with your boy, you know, trying to prolong it. I'm trying to hurry up and get it done.
All right. And now with a young boy.
My name is
Jaden. There he is.
Big
Jaden,
boy.
what's good, man?
It's like
Tell me a little bit what you doing.
16 and I wrestle for Howland Schools.
Hey, big up to Jaden. He just had his first tournament win. You know, his first year wrestling, had his first tournament win over the weekend, so that's what's up. So listen,
he'll never be as good as me, but I'm just saying. Go ahead, my bad.
Nah, that's cap.
And Holland would never have anything on Harding, so I just want to put that out there.
I would slam every single last one of y'all kids, bro. Don't play with me.
Man,
Don't play with me.
Go ahead.
All right. Let's wrap that up. I want to go ahead and get into it today.
before we get into that, we got to do a recap because we have to introduce how we even got to this point.
Okay. Yeah.
So if we go back a couple of weeks, you know, we shared our story, and part of that story included our dynamic, our blended family. So when you and I met, we had a kid apiece.
We thought.
So we had a kid apiece. You had a daughter. Aisha was, I think, 14, 15 at the time.
15.
15. Isaiah was 12. Okay. So, you know, at 35 years old, it's hard to find somebody when you're starting over who doesn't have any kids. So one kid, hey, you know, like we can do that.
Yes, that's okay.
And both Aisha and Isaiah ran track.
Right.
Everything kind of meshed a little bit, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a real big struggle. Then all of a sudden you're pregnant.
30 days later.
Right. And now we're adding a youngin to the mix. Now, did you think you wanted to have more kids?
I wanted to, but I wanted the right situation. I wanted a husband. I didn't want to be a baby mom. I didn't want to be a single parent. So I knew that I wanted more kids, but just the right way.
The right way. And I really wasn't trying to have more kids. I didn't want.
That ain't what you said.
I said that if I ever got remarried and my wife wanted kids, I would be
No. I specifically told you.
You're so annoying.
No, seriously, no, this is the truth. I specifically told you that I wanted to be married and I wanted to have more kids. And what did you say?
Like I was just saying, my stance was always, I personally did not want any more kids.
You didn't say that. You didn't say that there. If you would have said that then, Jordan wouldn't have been here the next month.
Okay, first of all, Jordan was an accident. So we're not even gonna act like it was all planned out this way. All right, let's just tell the truth. Moving on.
No, we're not moving on because you can't move on after a comment like that.
No, I can because Jordan, I'm trying to lay some ground down so we can get into what we're getting into today.
We might as well just
we can argue this point until we're both old and gray. But
because you're a liar.
Lavish Mink Lash is a premium luxury mink eyelash company based out of Atlanta, Georgia. Lavish Mink Lash provides 100% handmade mink fur lash that will elevate any look, eye shape, and lifestyle. Go to lavishminklash.com to take advantage of discount code HH10 and receive 10% off of your purchase today.
Isaiah and how this affected Isaiah.
We're getting to that.
Okay.
we're getting to all of that. Like I said again, I'm laying down ground, so a background of what we already shared, so we can talk
We
about
ain't
what we're
sharing that
talking about.
information. But go ahead.
So 2 years later,
And don't fucking push my drink again. That was so rude. But go ahead. Go ahead, I'm listening.
so a couple of years later, we find out I actually had a 16-year-old daughter. And that's where Dinah comes in, right?
That's what I was
Fast
told.
forward several years later, we lose my sister, Janetta, and Janetta had a 14-year-old son, Jaden, at the time, and we took in Jaden. So that, just giving backstory, is how we have the 5 kids that we have and that we're raising and have raised. So now that we've covered that, we can go back and talk about some of the things that came along with that, which is what we really want to talk about today and talk with the kids about today. Because when you look at the family dynamic, I mean, like, you see everybody on the call today. Everybody is family, everybody loves one another, and it all works. But there were some things that had to take place. There may have been some feelings that were going on. So like you said, so in the beginning, Aisha and Isaiah, like, how did this kind of affect how you guys were impacted?
Markayla?
Okay, well, I think at the beginning it was extremely hard adjustment, only because for majority of my life it was only just me and my mom, or just me and my mom and my grandma. So moving into a new home, living with men and all this other stuff, like, I think it was just an adjustment that we all had to get used to.
You know, and I agree
And
with that
Go
100%. It was weird, you know, for sure, because, you know, growing up being a single child, you know, I only had, it was just me, dad, and my mom. And then, you know, parents split up. Now it's just me and dad, you know, with still Jaden as my little cousin. That's whatever though. That's another story. But I'm used to, I'm chilling by myself, you know what I'm saying? The room that's across from my room, that was my playroom. Yeah, I had a little basketball hoop in there, a pool table, everything. And now my dad's up here telling me, hey, they moving in. And I'm like, oh, word, where they staying? Well, they're gonna have to take the playroom. Now hold on. Wait a
That
minute.
was so funny because my mom was like, yeah, we moving in. I said, with grandma. we already here.
I said, hold on now. Let's pump our brakes. You know, I got my pool table and everything in there. What do you expect me to do? You know, but you know, eventually it got cool.
Yeah.
You feel me?
We figured things
And I think
out.
that's so important, because like when everyone kind of got together, let's be honest, we got good kids, right? We got really good kids, and they like never made it an issue. We didn't have to deal with a lot of fighting or attitudes, but there were some feelings and some emotions that were going on behind the decision that you and I had made. So what was going on with you? Like, you know, you got this daughter, you moving in, you never raised a boy before.
Yeah, one thing is, you know, just being pregnant at the age of 35, when you thought that, you know, you had your life in order, and the path that you thought that you were gonna be on just got flushed down the toilet. So just dealing with that whole concept of starting a whole nother chapter that I wasn't prepared for, that was difficult for me.
Right. And already, like you said, like your idea was, if I'm gonna have another child, I wanna be married, I wanna be a wife, plan having a child.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
didn't want any more surprises.
Yeah, that definitely was a surprise.
But, you know,
Surprise!
at the end of, Yeah,
I just said
but
surprise.
at the end of the day, when you are having unprotected sex,
That part.
that's one of the consequences that can happen. You know, your whole life, everything about your life can change. And not only your life, but, you know, other individuals, other little people that depend on you. That's tough.
Yeah.
And, you know, going in, one of my main concerns, I knew Aisha would be okay because she has like a like a dominant, very strong personality.
Right.
But I didn't like, my heart went out to Isaiah because it's like, I was the only child for so long and I put myself in his place. And I probably wouldn't have handled it as well as Isaiah did.
Yeah.
You know, a stranger moving into my home right after my parents' divorce,
Right.
that's tough.
Right.
So more than you know, Isaiah, I thought about you a whole lot and how this would affect you. I didn't want to move in to your room, but I told Joseph to have you decide what room because we knew we had a new baby coming in. I knew the smaller room would be good for Jordan, but I didn't want to invade your home or your privacy because me as a child at your age.
Right, because Isaiah, you were 12 years old at the time?
I was 12. I was in the 6th grade when Jordan was being born, so 12.
I
Yeah,
think
just
that,
heard.
with us moving in, like, of course we all adapted, but I think that the first few months were like difficult because I think with us living all separate lives, like you and Isaiah had a structure, like just with the small things, like eating cereal, going to the bathroom time.
Yeah.
And then I think that, you know, me and my mom, we had our structure. We always had like 2 bathrooms to like do our little separate things. Like, and I think that I think it was an adjustment because I think everything just happened. Like, I don't feel like we all had a talk about it. Like, okay, this is gonna change and this is gonna change. Like, I think it was kind of like, all right, we're doing this. It's happening because we don't have no choice, right? And I think at the beginning it was an adjustment for a little bit, and then we kind of got into the swing of things. But then I think it got harder once Google was born, because it was like, okay, we're in the swing of things, but now we all have to pitch in on this little person. Like, this little person is like,
The loss of a child is a reality for far too many parents. Tayway, Thinking of You, is a nonprofit organization set up to support family members who've experienced these tragic losses by empowering individuals through mental health and grief support. Visit www.taywayinc.org to make a donation today.
Once me and Isaiah like had a talk, he's like, you moved into my playroom. I was like, well, nigga, I don't want to be here. Like, I don't want to live in your playroom. I was happy at my grandma's. But
it was literally a whole sitcom.
Yeah. But
and you throw in too the other dynamics of, you know, Marquita, you had your business that you had just given up, and now you're driving back and forth to Cleveland. I had a good paying job that had just closed. Now we made the decision for me to start my business and go back to school full time. So we got all of these different dynamics going on. Like Aisha said, now we have a small baby. Everybody's expected to pitch in, and everybody's like, what the hell just happened to my life?
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I think, like, with this episode, I mean, like, a lot of the people that may listen to this, you know, don't know us, but then for those in our community who do know us and look at us, you know, they look at like, wow, even people in our families, like, wow, you guys really got it together. But it wasn't always like that. It wasn't as easy
It took years
And-
for us to actually like figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
for us to,
I was on airplane mode for a lot of the time.
huh?
I was on airplane mode for a lot of the time.
Same.
Explain what you mean.
If you honestly ask me how much I remember from when they moved in till now, it's not a lot. I really don't remember nothing. The most I remember is like obviously when they moved in. I think during at the time too, I was still going back and forth between, you know, this house and my mom's house. So that's like another like gap right there. So like I was kind of just here, just floating, not really thinking about too much. And I think I just used that as like almost like a coping type thing. Like if I wasn't here mentally, like I didn't have to deal with nothing and I can just go ahead and do whatever. You know, I'm out here wrestling. You know, winter season started about like October, November. So from then till February, March, I'm just totally blank minded. You know, I'm in and out the house, you know, going to Cleveland, going to Akron, whatever my tournaments is, you know, just down the third. So, but it wasn't until, and Aisha, you know, the parents know this story now. It wasn't until one night that it was me and Aisha and, you know, some friends that I was like, you know what? You know, this is all right. You know, it ain't too bad. You know, but I was like high school, just about though. You know, so I mean, you got to think. Moved in sixth grade,
like a 2 to 3 year period.
Right. Moved in sixth grade. I didn't really get cool and comfortable with everything until probably about like my freshman year of high school, sophomore year of high school.
And that was,
you know, whenever that was.
Too. That was big for me too, because like coming in.
You know what?
Huh?
The truth of the matter is, honestly, I think that the changing point is when Diamond came in.
Maybe, but they're telling you. No, they're telling you when they're changing.
Okay.
And we do know about that party that took place while we were.
It really wasn't a party.
It was
a party.
Because at the end of the day, let's keep it real. I didn't have a lot of friends.
Right.
I only had 2 to 3 friends now, so it wasn't a party. It was just, you know, whatever. And
just a little kickback.
Definitely. And I think for me, like, it was more so when I came in, I was like, okay, like I want to be a good sister to this dude or whatever, because we in this house together, like we got to do it. But then it was so many personalities, and it was hard to, like, I feel like I'm a person that's good with change, but I felt like it was changing too fast. There was no consistency for a minute. And I think that I didn't become cool with Isaiah until we had that understanding. Like, you don't want me here. I don't want to be here, but I got your back and you got mine. It was a couple situations where he had to have my back, and it was a couple situations where I had to have his back. And that was when I was like, okay, like we can do this. We're a team. Like I'm not in this by myself. Like this is cool. I think for me also, like, I think our relationship got better after I realized, like, okay, like he's the man in the house, and I'm gonna have to like it ain't just my mom I have to listen to now, so it's whatever. But I think it was actually a minute. It was a moment where I realized that, you know, because our relationship was a little rocky, but then it was something that you did when mom was really getting on me about something, and you stopped her and you had my back, and I was like, like he got me for real. Like maybe I should chill out, because this is like, he got my back. And I didn't for a minute, I felt like nobody had my back. Like I felt like I was being attacked. And for that moment, when you stepped in, it was like, okay, chill, because maybe she whatever. And I was like, dang, like you got my back for real. Okay. So now, and I felt like that was my turning point to where like everything was like, okay, everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah. And Zay, how did you
situation for me?
Huh?
It was the same type of situation for me. You know.
B&B is a beautiful spa full of relaxation located 2068 Mahoning Avenue in Warren, Ohio. B&B offers the best relaxation massages, facials, lash lifts, teeth whitening, full body waxing, and specializing in a service we all love, Brazilian waxes. Go to www.bnbllc.com to schedule your next service. Be sure to use discount code HHO Podcast to receive a 10% discount. Don't forget to tell.
Right.
Mhm.
And then the situation would get a lot better. Easy. I mean, I almost didn't go to homecoming a couple times. You know what I'm saying? But then we got it to, you know what, you can go to homecoming, just come home afterwards. You know, so then that's when I was like, you know what? She cool.
And
She
it's
cool for
funny
real.
because-
Listen,
You know?
I got a point too. Like it was like it brought me to tears, let me tell you. I don't even know if you know about it. This was a time where I packed up my laundry basket with all of my hair supplies and I wasn't coming back. I was not coming back. Isaiah sent me this long message. I still have it. And Isaiah had your back that time.
Yeah.
But the thing, I'm not gonna say everything that you said in it, Isaiah, but what you put in that letter, it warmed my heart and it made me realize, okay, he really does love me. And he looks at me differently than what I thought. So it was like, okay, I'm going back to my family. I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna put everything that I have into this. Like, I love these kids.
Right. And I think like it was several situations where it was like we had to realize that we were a family.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't just because for a while, even after we were married, there was me and my child,
Yeah.
you and your child.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we all came in the pitch with Jordan. And I think for me, like the birth of Jordan was a big change for everything. Because it was the glue. It brought everything together. And it wasn't just you and yours, me and mine. And even though it was like in the beginning, like I loved Aisha from jump. And I was able to have a bond with Aisha for the simple fact that she ran track. So even if there was nothing else, I could always have that thing with Aisha that she ran track, I coached track. I'm gonna work with her. I know I see this potential in her. I'm gonna make sure I do everything that I can to help her get to a college scholarship, this, that, and the third. So that was our bond. And then like she said, when she found out that, hey, he got me, then, you know, that made it easier. And then I know for you, it was difficult because you and I even had conversations like with Isaiah. It's like, how do I connect with this little boy? I've never raised a boy. You know, all she knew was girl stuff. You know, get your nails done. But when you, like you said, like he said, and I remember several times with, you know, you had to soften me to look at the situation with dealing with Isaiah a little differently and everything. And that's when you guys' bond started. And
because I think it's fair to say that you and I came from different backgrounds.
Right.
So we raised our kids a little differently.
Right.
If you're in or traveling to Georgia and need transportation and don't want to get in a smelly cab, contact Travel Elite Ride Services. Travel Elite is a Black-owned luxury car service that provides professional, discreet, and reliable transportation that focuses on filling the gaps in transportation service. They offer camera monitoring through their custom app so you can feel safe sending your child or loved one. The app is available through iOS or the Android store, or you can visit them at travelelite.org. Coming to all 50 states in 2022.
If I wanted to go get my nails, I would get my nails with mom. And you were like, she's on punishment. Why is she in my house? And my mom was like, she's on punishment, but that doesn't mean she can't hang out with me. And I'm like, why is he trying to keep me in the house like this? And I thought that was like, I wasn't mad at it. I thought that was so funny because I'm like, dang, when Isaiah on punishment, he must get a whooping, then he gotta stay in the house all day.
Boy, Man, there are so many times when my friends will come up to the door and my dad would be like, go ahead, tell them. I can't even open, I'm not even opening the door. I'm cracking the door just a little bit. Hey, y'all, my dad said I gotta stay inside. I might see y'all next week, maybe. I don't know. Bye. And that would be it. And then all right, finish your food back upstairs. And I better not hear no PB on. Like,
I'm out with my
Aisha,
mom.
I just took her. She wasn't allowed to socialize.
But you wanted to be her best friend. Exactly. So I mean, I see, we could tell like there's a definite turning point, and oh, we lost you guys. Okay, there you go. And when we started to form, but like we said, like Aisha said, there was no consistency. So we started to get a little consistency, and then boom,
Yeah.
I get a letter from the government the other day. I opened it and read it. It said they were a sucker. You are the daddy. Oh shit.
No, the specific letter, I would never forget that letter. That letter said, turn in your income. And I flipped out.
Yes.
They said,
So
we want pay stubs, we want tax returns. I'm like, Justin, what did you do? I worked my whole life trying to get to this point, and you trying to let the government take it.
it's not what I did now. It's what I had done. So that's our first introduction to Diamond. Diamond, where you at?
Right here.
So Diamond, so if you recall, like we got to that point where apparently, you know, we know the whole situation, what blah blah blah. You're like 16 years old, and there's a positive paternity test. What's going through your mind? Because not only did you find out for a fact that I'm your father, but you go to school with and know my Aisha. You go to school with Aisha. You see her every day. You know who she is, and you know that she lives in my home. So what's going on there with you?
It was definitely a lot to take in. A lot. Like at first, I didn't even want to be involved with anything because it was just too much. But I think the first time I met everybody, I felt like really welcomed, you know, but at the same time, I was like, but was that fake? Like, was that for real? Like, I don't know.
Right.
So, you know, it was kind of weird for a while. So
yeah, definitely. And I remember, and Isaiah, he's the only one I remember this. I remember when we got that news, I took Isaiah out for ice cream.
Yeah.
Remember this, Isaiah? We went out to Handle to get ice cream. And we're sitting there with our ice cream on the bench, and I'm going through my phone. I say, hey, I want to show you something. And I scroll through some pictures and I show him, I say, hey, you know this little girl? He's like, oh, who is that? She's cute. I was like, that's your sister. And Isaiah's like, oh. So like, that's just like another, like you had just got used to Marquita and Aisha.
And Jordan.
And Jordan. Now here's this 16-year-old girl. Like, you're my firstborn, second.
Right.
Like
he just moved down from.
Right. You're my
first.
I was number one.
Exactly.
And then I got told that I was number two.
Yeah.
And then I'm a middle child. I said, yo.
And then he became the middle child.
I said, yo. There ain't no way. Ain't no way. I couldn't believe it.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah, I did that. So what was that like for you? Like that first encounter, you know, because like Diamond said, she came over, you know, she met the family, and she felt welcome. But what was it like for you?
I remember a specific time when we went to go pick Diamond up from our aunt's house, right? And we're on the car, and then at the same time we're going to pick up Jordan from the daycare that she was at. Right. So you guys are in the front seat, I'm in the back, I'm just on my phone, I'm chilling by myself. And then we get to the daycare and you like, all right, guys, I'll be right back. I'm about to go get Jordan. And I'm just sitting back there and I'm just silent, minding my business. And then Diamond decides, to try to speak to me. I don't know what she was saying. I didn't really care. But I was, she was like, so, some like trying to make conversation, and I'm not even looking at her, down on my phone, like, yeah. So, like, because in my mind, I'm like who are you? Like, bro, who are you? You know what I'm saying? And it was difficult for me because I'm usually I'm a very chatty person. I'm usually can make friends very, very easy. I'm the one usually making that, that first step in a relationship. But for Diamond, it was just weird and different because I'm still recovering. I mean, I remember it's my freshman year of high school, right? I just maybe got out of that whole autoplane mode, just a few years before that, everybody comes into the, to the family. I'm like, okay, now I'm trying to get settled down. Cool. Right. Now I'm getting told that I got a 16-year-old light-skinned sister. I said, hey, you know what I'm saying? What is this going on here? But eventually it became cooler because, you was leaving us at the house by ourselves. It was just me and Diamond at the house. And I mean, I don't know if I got the pictures or she got the pictures. I think she might have the pictures on her phone. But we eventually just, I don't know, like I'm on her back. You know what I'm saying? We running around the house doing whatever, acting like we just been doing this our whole lives. And it's been cool ever since. And it only took like 3 times, for real, for me to actually be like, all right, cool.
Yeah, and I have to say, like, that was like a chance that you and I took because we as parents had no idea how to really navigate the situation. But it was just kind of like, let's just throw them in there and see what happens. Let them, because they're kids, and they were all good kids. Diamond, go ahead.
At that place, I was it was just a terrible mental space for me at that point, but it just felt right with Diamond. Like, it was just so much better with her. I felt like it's always been that connection with Diamond. Like, I birthed her or something. I felt like she was like my biological child.
Not all bundles or wigs are created equal, so when it's time for you to purchase hair, you should be choosy. I get my hair from Glambox. They have high quality bundles, wigs, frontals, and closures. You can also follow them on Instagram and Facebook. Be on the lookout because Glambox has a luxury hair vending machine coming soon to Warren, Ohio and Atlanta, Georgia. Be sure to mention Marquita from the HHO podcast sent you.
Very blunt, to the point, a bit of an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's you.
All your children are
That's
actually.
really how we bonded. Like, that was,
Yeah, and that's really how we really, and then you got Isaiah and Diamond, and they're sensitive. They're a lot more like sensitive. Me. And like, and I'm like, I don't know how to talk to them without hurting their feelings. Like,
you just go and punch Aisha in the chest, and she knows exactly what that means. And if you do that,
punched out on the floor.
They're gonna cry because their feelings are hurt, as it should be. Yeah.
I think what was the most crazy for me was that when we met Diamond, I'm like, I don't care. But then when I was so I didn't care about the situation because I was so wrapped up in my life and how much it was changing. But honestly, when Diamond moved in and at first I had an attitude because I'm like, dang, gotta share my room. Like, this another space, this another thing that's being taken from me. But honestly, me and Diamond sharing a room was the best thing that ever happened to me because it just felt, oh my gosh, I'm getting sensitive. Anyways, ugh, so nasty. Because it was just like, I think she was the sister that I always wanted, because growing up, like being the only child, I used to ask my mom, my dad, like, I want another kid, like I want another person with me, like whatever. And you know, the first night I was like, what happened? Like, I think we had those twin beds in the room, but one of them had broke. So I'm like, you're gonna have to sleep over there. And she's like, okay. And I don't know what it was. It was one conversation. I felt like she was my sister, like my whole life sister, like the person that I was literally waiting for my entire life. Ew, okay. Oh my gosh. Because like,
I don't know how to take all of this in.
I know
I handle this.
Because it was more so like I felt alone. Like I know I had Isaiah, and me and Isaiah had like great times. Like obviously I had people over at the house. I had like, you know, when y'all was gone, me and Isaiah was doing our own thing. We was turning up. We was having fun. You know, we
2 bottles of Henny.
Literally, we kept each other's secrets. But Diamond was my person. Like I didn't feel alone anymore. I didn't feel like I had to bottle up my emotions. I didn't feel like I had to like be a certain way. Like she was my other half sister. Like she was my person. And like I still be like, oh my gosh, like I miss sharing a room with my sister. Even like when we're out in public, I'm like, yeah, like that's my biological sister. Like we're real sisters. Like, and I don't think I like moving into the house, I didn't think that I would have that bond. Like that was a bond that me and my mom shared. That was a bond that like I had with my mom. And to have it with my sister, it was like, wow, like guys, I have a sister. I'm not alone. This is my best friend. This is my person. She was my everything. And she got on my nerves being sensitive. She got on my nerves with the makeup. She got on my nerves with her hair. She got on my nerves with everything. The music, everything. Like she was on my nerves, but like literally she was perfect for me. Like she was my person. Like she was so sensitive, but she was also tough. Our secrets, our fun times, like she blended right in with my friends. Like it wasn't awkward. Like I was like, y'all come meet my sister. And it was just, everything was just so perfect. And I felt like when Diamond moved into the house, I was like, okay, like everything's gonna be okay. Like we're a family. And then like the family nights and everything, it just, I don't know, for me, I went into it with an attitude, but I just couldn't, because she was just, I don't know, she was automatically my person.
Royal Elegance is a hair care system created to protect each individual strand from thermal styling, daily manipulation, and most hair routines. Royal Elegance offer luxurious high-quality hair care products for all hair types. They promote growth, healthy scalp, and results that last. Go to rehairproducts.com. Be sure to use discount code HHO Podcast to receive 10% off of your purchase.
So wrapped up in everybody.
Yeah.
So this particular night, we went out, I think, to dinner or something. And we came back home. We came home, and my father, you know, at this point, he in his sickness, he had a lot of accidents. And a lot of times we had to clean him up. And I remember coming in the house, and Aisha at 17, Diamond at 16, had grabbed my dad with no, like, not making anyone feel embarrassed, not making my mom feel any way. And they were in the bathroom cleaning him up. This 80-some-year-old man, and they're in the bathroom together, cleaning my dad. I mean, I'm 40 years old, and you know, I take care of my dad because it's my dad. You know, but unfortunately, like neither of them even got to know my dad, because by the time you and I were married, my dad had dementia. So neither of them even got to have a real relationship to know my dad. And they were there taking care of him while we were gone. And Isaiah was, looking after Jordan, to make sure she was good while they were taking care of dad. And my mom was just appreciative, because she couldn't get up and do it herself. So it was at that moment for me where I was like, yeah, we're a whole
team.
Yeah, we're a whole team. We're a real family.
Yeah.
And everything that, because, we had worries,
Yeah.
Bringing all these kids together in the way that we did, because everything was on the heels of something. From divorce to having a new kid to moving in to finding out there's another child, like everything's like, oh, how in the world can we possibly make this work?
Yeah.
But it was at that point for me when I knew that you and I were doing something right, and we had a family.
Yeah. Well, I knew that it was magical at the very beginning because I never had that attraction, that energy towards anyone else. Just our conversations, it was like kinetic energy. It just felt so different. I've never been on the phone with a person that much. Just like we connected mentally, we connected physically, like it was strong. But once I got that pregnancy test result, it was like, damn. And it was like, I'm talking to God. Yes, I am cussing. But it's like, what's going on here? It's like, I had a whole plan for myself, but I can feel that whatever you have planned for me is much stronger. And I remember just telling God that I accept and I'm gonna trust and I'm gonna believe in your plan.
Right.
And it was hard.
It was very hard.
But just like listening, like at this moment with the kids, just hearing them speak, I know that I understand the plan. I understand all the hurt that we felt. And I feel as though God was aligning everything perfect. Because if I wouldn't have had you, if I wouldn't have had the kids while I was going through my hurt or my loss, I don't know where Aisha and I would be at this moment.
Right. And I can recall, and the kids don't know this, but I can recall, like you and I even having conversations like, are we the reason? Are we not supposed to be together? And is that the reason that all of these bad things keep happening?
Yeah.
All of this hurt, all of this loss, but then come to find out, no, we were together because all of these things were going to happen. And we all needed one another.
Exactly.
And it's just funny. I mean, it's crazy how God works things that way.
Yeah.
So
I feel like someone out there was praying for my strength. I don't want strength. I'm not searching for strength.
Yeah, this needs that strength and that patience. So then we move forward. We're really connecting. Aisha's gone off to college. Diamond's gone off to college. Then Diamond, she goes through her own hurt. And we're not going to get into it, anything in depth, but Diamond, she went through her own hurt with her own loss, and that affected, the family. Diamond had to move out of the house to, take care of some other things, take care of herself, take care of her sister. And then, but we're still a family.
Yeah.
Then he moved to 2020 and
I think there's a big thing that you're missing. There was a point in time though, just to say like not everything was perfect with the family. I think there was a time where I don't know what happened, but when everything was going perfect, something switched with us kids. Like when I moved out, Diamond moved out, and Isaiah was trying to move out. There was a moment
Right.
where we as siblings was like, we got to get out the house. Like, we don't want to be around. And I don't know, it was something that happened to the family that was pretty tragic. Like, y'all moods was like off with us and our moods was off with y'all. And I felt like for a moment it became parents versus the siblings, like parents versus the kids at a moment.
I remember having that
too.
conversation.
Yeah, and I feel like it's important to talk about that moment because it was like that's when me and Isaiah and Diamond became one, because we was like the parents, it's something wrong with them, we got to get out the house, we got to move, we can't go back, we don't want to go back. And then I don't know why, but it was when you had called me, Joseph, and you was like, Aisha, you're my daughter, you're the oldest one in the house, and I know that you're the only one that's gonna be blunt with me and tell me what I need to hear.
Right.
And you was like, why don't no one want to come back home? And when you said that to me, I was like, he don't want to hear what I got to say, but I'm gonna say it because he want to hear it. But I think in that moment, like, you fighting for the family, like you fighting for us, like that made me look at you different. Cause I'm like, okay, like he wanna hear what he wanna hear. And like, I like talking to you because you don't just be like, oh, you disrespectful because you saying this, that, and third. Like, you actually listen to what I had to say. You actually listen to my opinion, because it wasn't just my opinion. I got it from Isaiah. I got it from Diamond. I called them and was like, Joseph want to know the real. Give me the real. And I'm going to tell him. I think it also helped that I was 5 hours away. But
I for sure wasn't going to say it because I'm just down the hallway.
Literally down the hallway. Diamond was only 50 minutes away. She was too close. And I was the only one. I felt like it was my duty to let y'all know, like, as parents, y'all wasn't cutting it at the moment. And I felt like with you listening to that and you being like, okay, like, I hear what you're saying and I'm gonna fix it, because there's a shift in the family and I don't like it. The family needs to come back. Like, we need to come back. And I felt like that was so powerful to me, because in a moment of just us being so mad at y'all, like we were so mad at y'all. And like, it was crazy. Like, I remember all our conversations, we were just like, yeah, we got to get out the house, we can't come back. Isaiah like, can y'all please come back? We like, yeah, no. That's dead, it's over with. No, like, you're gonna have to come see us.
I'm gonna share something with you guys, because you're at that age and it's gonna come a point in your life to where the struggles of everyday life just weigh heavy on you. And I think that's what happened to us during that time period. We were doing so much, and it's so much behind the scenes that you guys don't see as kids, because we try to protect you from all of that. But I want to say that was due to just the struggle of everyday life, just trying to maintain a household, trying to be happy when you really just want to cry.
And I think with that, a lot of what happened was, it wasn't even so much that, well, I'll just say this. I think the way that we had been, the way that we normally were, we weren't able to be that.
Yeah.
You know, because we were going through a period of like a lot of stress, a lot of hurt, tough decisions. I mean, just being honest, like, during this period, first of all, I lost my dad.
Yeah.
So, and Aisha, you even told me, you could tell, like, from that moment, like, I was checked out. And with that being checked out, a lot of things, a lot of responsibilities that I had checked out with that. And then when I had to check back in, stuff was already a mess And I was like, oh shit, how are we gonna fix all of this stuff that's happened during me being checked out? And your mom was checked out after losing your grandma. And then we're dealing with the change in Diamond after losing her mom and uncle. And then that relationship between she and I, changed. And so there's like so many things. So our response to a lot of things wasn't the way that it was, like our patience for certain things.
Yep. And I think that we all checked out. I think that it was a moment where I felt like I lost grandma, but I couldn't talk about it because it was too much other things going on. Like I had school, I had track. I was trying to focus on mom, but I couldn't focus on mom. So I couldn't focus on myself. I was focusing on mom, I was focusing on track, I was focusing on school, but I couldn't focus on myself. And I think that with you losing your dad, like you checked out, mom checked out, like we were all flipping out. Diamond was checked out with losing her people, and Isaiah, like I didn't even think about him just losing people, because I think we were all in a space of individuality instead of family at the time.
Right. And I think that's the thing, actually, what you just said, because if you remember, like what I said in the beginning, there was me and mine, Arquita and hers. And then we go through these periods where it started to be that again. That's her grandma, your grandma. That's my dad. That's Diamond's mom. That's and so no one's able to. It's like, well, you don't know my dad. You didn't have
like we couldn't connect.
But at the end of the day, it's true.
No, it's very true. But I'm just saying, this is a lot.
But I understand it now.
Diamond's out there on her own.
We didn't know each other.
Right, and then that's what started to happen. We started to realize, like, we don't know. Like, your family isn't necessarily my family. Your hurt isn't my hurt.
Yep, our grief turned into anger towards each other, because it was even a time where Diamond flipped out on me, because I'm like, Diamond, I know what you're going through. She was like, no, you don't. You ain't lose your mom. And I'm like, you're right. I didn't lose my mom, but I lost my grandma. And I'm like, well, shoot, I lost a close person to me too. And I'm not even looking over at Isaiah's way. I'm like, shoot, we all done lost somebody. Like y'all, everybody can shut up, because we all done lost somebody. But it was like I don't feel like we had a time of grief, because me and Joseph, we so tucked in, we so like tough. We just like, what's next? Like, I can't focus on that right now. What's next? And Diamond was so emotional. I feel like in the moment I felt bad, because I wanted to be there for you, but I couldn't, because emotionally I wasn't there. Like, and Joseph, like when we had a conversation, me, when I'm checked out, it's like no touching, no talking, none of that vulnerable stuff. I'm like, I'm closed off, and you're the same way. And I feel like mom and Diamond, they're so, I need a hug, I need a kiss, I need this, and we're like, we can't do that. And I think our anger came out on each other instead of leaning on each other when we needed each other the most. But I felt like we also needed space, because like how you said, Diamond lost her mom, I did not lose my mom. I lost my grandma, she still had her grandma. You lost your dad, mom still got her dad. Like, mom lost her grandma, you still got everybody. So it was like we were so angry with each other. But then when we all like figured it out, like, we really not angry at nothing. We were just angry, just to be angry. We were grieving.
Everyone was hurt. Everyone was hurt. And hurt, everyone, I think, felt alone. Because like you said, that's her mom. And, and even though, like we said, Diamond being my daughter at 16, how well do I know? And how well do I know how to be there for her? And how well is she able to receive me being there? That brought up a whole lot of stuff with me not being there and all of those things. And I think, I don't want to cut this short, but I think this is a good point to get into that next phase, and bring Jaden in here. Because it was right on the heels of that where I lost my sister. And now you have Jaden. Now we're adding Jaden to the mix, who was always just the little cousin who was just hanging around. And now he's a part of the household. So Jaden, let's talk about a little bit. And I know, and to give, Jaden some, this is like, the rest of us have had several years to kind of deal with some of these things, For Jaden, this is just last year. So Jaden, talk a little bit just about how it was, not the loss, but just moving in and trying to find your space in the family dynamic.
It was very different, not normal. That's about
How so?
rules and stuff.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said the rules.
How was it for you, like trying to now it's kind of like, in a sense, I mean, relation is relation. But how is it like going from now, you've been an only child, you've been a cousin, you could come over and go home and live your life, and now you're like the little brother.
At first I didn't like it, but I do now. I do. It's the change.
Yeah, I remember, because I remember him Jaden coming to me like, hey, Uncle Joe, like Jordan called me her brother. And am I supposed to call her my sister? And it was real different for him because, Jordan at the time was only like 5, 6 years old, so she just knows you in the house now, and everyone else who's been in the house is either her brother or her sister. And, but luckily you and Isaiah always had a bond, a relationship. How did that relationship and that bond between you and Isaiah help you in any way?
It was me and him had a talk. It was at the hospital when my mom died. Me and him had a talk. He said, I forget what he whispered in my ear, but he said, Isaiah, what you said?
I said, I got you regardless. Like I got you always,
Yeah. So how was everyone else like? It's been like bringing Jaden into the fold, because it's still a transition. How is everyone else responding to Jaden, like your own individually?
Me personally, I was like, okay, like I was hoping that he would adjust well to in the house, because I know like from experience moving in the house, like it's like you're not just moving in and everybody gonna be like, okay, Jaden, like, all that soft touch. It's like, okay, now you got chores. Now you gotta get this done. Now you gotta do that. And I'm like, dang, I've been through it. Now he gotta go through it. That sucked. But I knew that Jaden was gonna be okay because I seen Isaiah step up, and I felt like it was, I don't know how Jaden feel about it, but I feel like I wish I would have had an Isaiah when my grandma was gone, because I feel like he was to Jaden what Diamond was to me, like his person, like his go-to, his I'm never gonna leave you behind, his you can always come to me, his whatever. And I feel like I knew he was gonna be fine. It was more so the rules that sucked the most, but I knew that the adjustment was gonna be fine for him with Isaiah there.
How about with you, Isaiah?
I mean, like this is what Aisha said. To me, it wasn't too different, The only thing I was just struggling with was just trying to get past the fact of my aunt, passing, and try to get to the from big cousin to big brother now, right? And I'm trying to show Jaden certain things in life, and I'm trying to keep my composure, right, and everything. I mean, there's been so many times. I mean, I was crying for weeks in my room by myself, right? But I remember one specific time it's probably like 2-3 days after, and I'm in my room in the dark and I'm crying, right? I'm talking up against the wall, you know, snot. God,
Ugly cry.
you know what I'm saying? And Jaden comes into my room. I wipe my face real quick. I'm like, what's up, boy? You know, I changed that fast. Like, what's up, boy? How you feeling? You good? You know, and it's just something that's always been over me just because of something what granddaddy, you know, put into us. Because, I mean, me and Jaden, Jaden knows, we always fought, right? Fought, argued, wrestled, whatever. You know, big cousin, little cousin things, you know, and I remember one specific time I was at, you know, grandma and granddaddy's house, and granddaddy calls me to his office. And he was like, you need to stop all this fussing and fighting back and forth with your cousin. Right. And I'm like, man, whatever. And then he said, because you never know when one day he might be your brother.
Oh.
I'm a child. I'll never forget this. So when Aunt Netta died, that's instantly what I thought of. Instantly. Granddaddy literally said, treat him like your brother because he can be. Right? Not your cousin. I'm like, bro, what? Now Aunt Netta's gone. Now Jaden's my brother. I said, Granddaddy, was you a wizard? Had to be, right? So then that's one thing that just played in my mind constantly over and over and over again, which caused me to be the big brother that I am. You know, like I know he had everybody else in that hospital. You know, he got, you know, you, Marquita, Aisha, Diamond. But we keeping it stacked, you know, Aisha don't know him like that. Diamond don't know him like that. Marquita don't know him like that. Dad, you know him because he's your nephew, but you don't know him like that. I'm the only one that shared a bathtub with him. You know what I'm saying? That shared a bed, shared the same room, always side by side next to each other, coming home from school. We in the backseat of granddaddy's car, going home, eating some pizza rolls and watching cartoons. You know, that's why I wasn't hesitant on nothing. You know, he's in the hospital room and I'm behind him and I'm holding him and I'm telling him, I got you regardless. I got you regardless. You know, I got his name tattooed on my arm. I mean, I ain't think twice about that. You know what I'm saying? When I started getting all my tattoos and I wanted them to mean something to me, I said, my brother's keeper, because I literally am. And it's not just from this little span of this year and a half, 2 years. It was from when I was 5 and he was born. And then on, you know? So I've tried my best, you know, to make him feel as comfortable as possible. I just told him this. He makes me want to put my fist to his face sometimes. You know, I'm not gonna lie, because I can't really put it to his body because he's big and he gonna feel it, but it won't affect him as much. So I feel like if I was to test his jaw, he would understand what I'm saying, but I know I can't do that, you know. So I just hold it. But he know I love him though. Ain't that right, Jaden?
Yep.
Yeah, He know I love him. You know, I mean, there's been times I went to his room and we gotta be real. You know what I'm saying? We gotta talk one-on-one, real spill, you know. And I feel like having those conversations with him is what made him look at me as a big brother. You know, he's texting me certain things. I ain't gonna repeat nothing. He's texting me certain things. I'm letting him know, hey, don't, you know what, we're gonna talk about this when I get to the crib. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, about that. We had that conversation yesterday. And I feel like I should be that person that tells him about that particular thing.
I think you're on a different page.
What you mean?
No.
But I do want to say that I think through that experience, I had to say that that's the moment where I looked up at Isaiah the most, because he really stepped up. I think there was always a point in our lives where we had to step up in this family. Like I felt like for me, I had to really step up when it came to Jordan. I feel like Isaiah really like did a turnaround and had to step up for Jaden. I feel like that was like a whoa, look at him go. He's strong. Like he got this. He doing this. And I thought that like, I don't know, for me, that was just like a whoa type of moment for me, like a step back. Like he look at what he's doing. He really taking Jaden under his wing and really like doing his thing with it.
I was never forced to really be a big brother. You know, I mean, like I got Jordan, right? She's only 8 years old. There's only so many conversations we can have before she started rolling her eyes and she's, you know, gets distracted, wants to go somewhere else.